I mean, again, you have a top 5 team, a team I picked to win the Big Ten this year, the Michigan State Spartans, and they go out and lay an egg against James Madison right out of the gates. And here's the deal, Rob. If this were a revamped Michigan State team, if this were a team like Indiana, who we'll talk about in a minute, lost 4 starters, right? And they come out and they lose this game, we all would have given Izzo a complete mulligan, right? We would have, okay, we get it. They're going to get better. Izzo had to throw a new team together. Well, like he didn't, Rob. He had most of his team back from a year ago. He added some freshmen that are really talented that he's going to have to try to figure out what their roles are and if he needs to expand those roles. How shocked were you that Michigan? I mean, you had to be like,
I was shocked.
On the shocking meter of 0 to 10, is it a 10?
Yeah, it's a 10. Yeah. Michigan, Tom Izzo's never lost a November home game. Is that the stat that I saw until the James Madison game? I think there's just so many reasons to be surprised. And I had a little more caution on Michigan State compared to you because they did almost go 500 in league play last year, but they bring back great guards. They bring back experience, and they bring in a freshman class that is elite. Yep. Funny how your tune has kind of changed a little bit here.
Listen, I haven't given up on.
I know, and I haven't either. I have not either. Right. But I did some of the Bulls preseason games, and I just was following along as they got their season started, and they kind of laid an egg on night one. And Zach LaVine, who I played with and really like, had a quote where it was like, we just didn't come out with the sense of urgency that we needed to. And you're like, it's night one. Right. And I kind of felt that way about Michigan State too. And, AJ Hoggard didn't necessarily play well in their exhibitions, and he definitely didn't play well outside of his shooting. He didn't shoot the ball well. He had some threes go in and out, but he's not a guy that can play through his jumper. He needs to get in the paint. He needs to make plays for other people, and he needs to push the tempo and take care of the basketball. That's what he needs, and lead the team. Jaden Akins was very uninvolved at times. Malik Hall did not shoot it well, looked unconfident, looked like he didn't want to shoot. And I still think with Michigan State, I worry about teams just bludgeoning them in the paint. I saw it last year with Purdue. Edey's numbers against them were insane. And look, he's a different beast in that regard. But I also watch Michigan State, and they do the hard hedge almost to a fault. They hedge ball screens and jump out so early that you're just opening lanes to the rim to slip and put your defense in rotation. So I thought James Madison played hard. I thought they ended up out rebounding him. It was like 50-48, which that's not like a crazy number, but the offensive rebounds and the timeliness of the offensive rebounds for James Madison. And I thought they out-toughed Michigan State. I thought they out-competed them. And honestly, Michigan State did not deserve to win the game. James Madison deserved to win.
All right, so could you see now an avenue where Michigan State duplicates what they did last year again this year?
Where they go 11-9 in conference play?
Yes.
I think they'll be better than that. I think I still have belief that they will be like a 13 or 14 win team in the Big Ten. But they have some holes in terms of that interior. And I thought Cohen Carr played really well. Got to the offensive glass. Good cutter. He's a great athlete. We know that. Certainly had a couple times into the game where some freshman moments, maybe, he gave up the game tying bucket at the end of regulation because he just wasn't paying attention. Right. But I think he is a piece. Jeremy Fears will be interesting to see. We kind of thought that he would be a nice complimentary piece, but maybe he's a guy that you're going to look at him and say, well, if AJ Hoggard's not going to do it, then Jeremy Fears, let's give him a try. And then I just think Xavier Booker seems like he is far away from earning Tom Izzo's trust. He is not ready for
Fears and Carr are going to be the ones that I think Izzo's going to have to figure out. Like, all right, am I going to try to push buttons with Hoggard, with Fears, and see if it works? And if it doesn't, I'm riding with Fears.
But Hoggard ended the season last year playing so well. He was so good in the NCAA tournament, and he looks like a different guy so far. And they need him. And I will say, Tyson Walker, I thought his handle looked tight, and it was like he was playing 1-on-5.
He's awesome.
At the end of the game, he was phenomenal scoring it. He had to do it, and he He
That's
did.
the
The only
good thing,
complaint you'd
Rob.
have is
Rob,
he missed a bunch of 1-on-1s, the front ends, and then he missed a bunch of free throws. That would be my only complaint about the way he played.
But if there's one great thing about now, like if you're Michigan State, you're like, all right, we do have a dude.
I love the action they run for him. It's simple. Bring him off a pin down, let him ball.
Which he can do. I mean, I remember seeing him, I think it was his freshman year at Northeastern. And I was blown away right away. I'm like, all right, Bill Cohen found another one here because he always does. And you could see it. But all right, so Michigan State obviously struggles out of the gates. We're concerned, but not ready to push the panic meter yet on Tom Izzo because
they came out against Southern Indiana and looked bad, I mean, they've had some terrible starts. The Tennessee game, they were awful to start the game, and they were not good against, I think they were down 14 or 15. Weren't good against James Madison. They have got to get off to better starts. That would be a cause for concern if they come out and look like that again.
You know, they'll be fine at the Champions Classic. You watch. Izzo will have them ready next week in Chicago against Duke. And
their bigs are going to have to play better because Kyle Filipowski is a different beast than what James Madison was throwing out there.
Well,
TJ Bickerstaff was.
Remember a year ago. Hey,
but he's not going to be what Filipowski is.
Sissoko going up against Oscar. Now Oscar had just come back from injury. But
Sissoko balled against all the best people. He balled against Gonzaga. He balled against Kentucky. And it was like we didn't really see that guy the rest of the season after that.
We did not.